Okay, so I really enjoyed this Expedition Africa. There was a lot of variety, some very good teams, very strong teams, and very well organised race. So sections we did a lot of kayaking at the beginning in the sea. There was one section of serious surf, so pretty much all the boats were turned over and we all got washed up like shipwrecked victims. But that was quite fun. And some other sections through some rivers, all tidal, so that added an element to the racing. The first few trekking stages were also coastal, and the long one along hiking trails. That was lovely. Some teams, it was close racing at this time. We were swapping positions within the top 10. A close race with Cyanosis. We passed them 3 times because they managed to find some good shortcuts, a bit of local knowledge, I think, a bit of South African knowledge of these hiking trails. But it was good. And then we got into some biking. There was a very nice biking section, some uphill on easygoing roads, some quite sandy tracks, and then some beautiful single track, really long, lots of downhill single track. It was really quite nice. So that was a good bike section. And then I think we went into, what did we do after that? I think we had a kayak, another trekking section, that's right, another trekking section. And we arrived in the night to find the last trekking checkpoint, which you could either send one team member to swim, or you could go to the transition and take a kayak. It was high tide at this time, so we felt it was better to take the kayak. But this one was a bit difficult to find from the direction we were coming at, so we spent an hour and a half there. And then we decided to sleep here. While many teams went on ahead, they passed us, but we had a nice 2.5 hour sleep, which meant we hit this kayak during daylight, the next kayak section, which was upriver, and also at low tide and not against the current. So we made a very quick time on this section, and we actually passed most of these teams, and I think we found ourselves in 3rd or 4th position at the canyoning. So we got to the canyon about 4:30. So we were glad it was still light, but we knew we were going to be doing a lot of this canyon in the dark and the cold. But it was really good, really exciting, really nice canyon. It would be nice to see more of it in the daylight because it was beautiful, but kind of fun swimming through these little pools and then just abseiling down little bits. So that was good. And we were in the canyon all that night. good 8 hours, I think. And really interesting. I mean, we tried to walk around the sides, but actually we found quickly that the fastest way was just to get in there even though you were cold and just swim your way, climb out of the next pool, swim at the next pool, and if we kept moving we could keep warm. And we saw a couple of teams here, but we just passed them because we were going quite quickly, so that was a nice section. And then coming out at the end of this trek, really nice sections, and then it sort of warmed up daytime. And then I think we headed for the long bike, which was actually a lot easier than the previous bike, I think, because it was all on good roads. And we made some nice stops. So we had we stopped at Angie's G Spot, and it had this sign outside saying "lousy food, hot beer, bad service." I thought they're joking, right? So we got there and we're like, "Have you got any food for us?" They're like, "No, got nothing at all." We've got some double up cakes. We're like, okay, we'll take those. Any drinks? I've got some Sprite and Coke. Yeah, we'll have some of those. Anything else? No. So anyway, we took those. We were happy with that, and carried on. I think we got to another kayak section. I think.
Yeah, sure. I
We're lost now. Another kayak section, and oh no, this is a trekking section. Trekking out. It was night time. We got to the final trek section, 26 kilometers, and this got really exciting because we saw Sweetco, who were 3rd, so we were 4th at this time, and we were trying to get the 3rd position, and they made a mistake. So they had left before us, and they got a bit lost, took the wrong route, and we caught them up. And just at the end of that section, they saw our lights and came down. So I think we showed them the way to the transition. So we made it to transition about the same time, but we were very sleepy, so we had to take half an hour there, so they left on the bikes before us. And the bike section was very quick, another hour, and then we got to the final kayak stage, which should have been simple, just finding the way up to the lake. It's only 9 kilometre kayak section, should have been very quick. Unfortunately, at this time we took a right, followed it round up the river, and maybe paddled about 2 kilometres the wrong way. One of my guys got a bit cold, so we had to get him out. Meanwhile, 2 teams passed us. But we quickly got him back in, went back down the river and found the lake. And that last kayak in, we had the current against us, we had the wind against us, we had everything against us. There were big waves, and we could see the end, and we were paddling and paddling, and it took maybe twice as long as we were expecting, but we made it, and we were very happy to finish. And now, after all the final calculations, we've come fourth. I'm very happy with this position. I think we did really well, and we were trying for third for a lot of the race, but Sweco definitely stronger, and had a really good fun race. Enjoyed all the teams around me, and just the organisation and everything. You know, our bikes have been cleaned, we've been able to wash our clothes, we've had barbecues, you know, the brides have been amazing, the parties, the African music. I think I have to say that this is one of the best experiences I've ever had adventure racing. And apart from that, the team I raced with, we just met in the airport before this race, and you know, we got on really well, like a house on fire. So we'll be racing again together, and I'm really happy.
Thank you.